Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the November 17th episode of Total Divas. This is going to be episode 10. It's titled Nurse Nikki, and this one picked up where the last episode left off. Basically, right after the end of SummerSlam, going into Monday Night Raw. And in this weird paradox that Total Divas is, which is a little bit... It's like if Back to the Future, like they wouldn't have fixed the right thing, and there would be a different paradox of people living where things just weren't exactly like they were now. As of on Total Divas, the way it looks to me is that at SummerSlam, Daniel Bryan walked out being the WWE champion. It was never explained that Randy Orton cashed in on him, and it still seems that he is the new champion. John Cena is going to get his arm worked on, and he is leaving. And Daniel Bryan will be stepping up and taking on his role. He's never announced as being the champion. Maybe just as a fan you were supposed to know this. Maybe as a TV show that's trying to draw fans in that aren't really wrestling fans, just because it is on E and people like to watch these total non-reality shows with scripted storylines and everything like that, and follow along. And maybe people watch this just because it's on E and it's on before and after the Kardashians. Maybe they just don't want to tell them that he's not the champion, and because they are saying that he is fulfilling John Cena's prior engagements of him going on talk shows and making more things. Basically, he's going to be getting a lot busier in the next future because, of course, because they keep showing us what's going to happen in the future. You can see that this is going to cause some friction between him and Brie, which I think is going to be on next week's episode. But basically, John has this big moment with this huge match at SummerSlam. He comes out the next night on Monday Night Raw in Anaheim, and he announces that he is going to go get his elbow worked on. He thanks Daniel Bryan, and basically says that he is the man from now on, and that it was a real cool special moment on Raw. He flies to Pensacola to see his doctor, Dr. Andrews, who cuts open his arm, works on it. It's a pretty freaking cool moment, as when they scalpel open his arm, blood just shoots all out of John's arm, all over the doctor's face. Nikki's watching it from the other room, and basically from there they get all fixed up, and they go back to John's house. Nikki has her stuff shipped over from San Diego, and basically she's going to be moving in with John, and that is leading to the big cliffhanger. John lets Nikki get all of her stuff into the closet, sets up her own little spot in his room. They're going to become the couple who now rooms together, and he waits until the last possible moment to get her to sign a piece of paper saying that if things don't work out in this relationship, he can say hey, this is my house, get the fuck out. And basically Nikki storms off because she's all upset that John waited to the last possible moment. And as far as looking at the way Nikki sees it as John's way of saying, this is fun for now, but it's not going to last forever. So it's all right to look at it as why she's pissed off. John's just trying to cover his own ass, because I bet he has different lawyers and people saying that he's stupid for doing what he's doing right now. But I just thought it was awesome that Nikki runs off and she gets in the car to drive off because she can't stand to be there right there. John walks into the other room, walks over on top of a dresser, and just looks out the window. Just wondering about life. This is what John Cena does. Just looks out the window. But basically that was all that big storyline. But that's going to be the cliffhanger into the next week of To Be Continued. Big storyline this week was WWE trying to find a spot for Eva Marie. Everybody knows that Eva Marie is sort of like the one person that they're trying to find a way to push, but she didn't work out as being Fandango's dancer. She's not working out as being a wrestler. So what's the next thing? We'll try live in-ring announcing on what they call next week's edition of Monday Night Raw, which ended up being the dark show before main event, before anything, for something that really, honestly, doesn't even matter. She's very nervous. She doesn't really know how to be a ring announcer. I think that honestly it might be something that's a little nerve-wracking in order to get out and do your first time and knock it out of the park. But there are high expectations for anybody who's in WWE to do what she wants. My girl Alicia Fox pops in for a small cameo, says that WWE went to her and tried to get her to do this at one point also. She said it was 3 years ago, so that would be like in 2010. Which doesn't really make sense, because that's when she was at the height in the of her wrestling, when she won the title at the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view live from Philly, I believe is where that one was. And she just basically says that she got out there, she didn't know what she was doing, and it almost got her fired because people thought that she was didn't know what she was doing. The whole time she's trying to study for this, she doesn't really want to study, and she feels like she's going to cheat, and she gets down, and she almost nails doing the whole thing, and as a three-man band comes out with Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal, she forgets to say Jinder Mahal's name. And Jinder is pissed. Jinder Mahal, of course, making his Total Divas debut, pops up on the screen, and him and Drew McIntyre are both very, very mad. Heath Slater looks like he's just happy to be in the situation where he's going to be sliding up next to Eva Marie, putting his hand around her shoulder, saying, you know what, everything's going to be alright, we're going to defuse this thing, they're hot right now. And a little part of me thinks that the whole Jinder Mahal and Heath Slater thing was all a setup just to get Heath in the right spot. Another big storyline that was on the show revolved around my girl Naomi and Jey Uso. Jey Uso has a very, very bad infected toenail that is just basically just squirting out blood. He has one match inside the ring. It's the Usos and Justin Gabriel going up against three-man band. The same match that was announced. Basically a very, very worked match with everything in there, with him selling that he's not able to stand on this toe, and then when he gets to the back, blood is just coming all out of his sock. Dr. R-Truth comes over, and he's checking out the toe, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. Basically, finally they go to the doctor. They find out that they both have infected fungus toenails. They both get the toe looked at. They both get medicine to put on it, and I guess they're going to go on and live happily ever after here. Honestly, I thought this was a good episode of Total Divas. Still surprised that this show is an hour and doesn't really feel like an hour. We got to see Nikki playing with dildos again, so that was probably the one highlight of the show. So there we go. Tip it off. I'll see you next week. Peace out.